Christmas brings intense emotion, both intense joy, and when that joy isn't there, it brings intense sadness too. There are reasons that we call this the most wonderful time of the year. We sing those cheesy songs sometimes. It's the most wonderful time of the year. As I think back to my childhood, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day are my most cherished memories, both of time of celebration with my family and then time of celebration and fun out at the farm with my extended family. But when that joy isn't there the way we want it to be, the sadness that we can experience can be even more powerful. And this fits the Christmas story too, because today's reading is a part of the story that we don't often hear or don't often remember. But Christmas Eve, we have the manger, we have the angels, we have the shepherds, and we have joy and awe and wonder. And then just shortly afterwards, suddenly Mary and Jesus and Joseph are running for their lives, and there's extreme sadness and there's terror too. And so I think it's helpful for us to remember that Christmas has these two sides. So for instance, let me share with you yesterday, my Christmas yesterday, where I experienced both of these emotions in a powerful way. So we wake up in the morning, and Ruthie says, "Mom, do you think there's stuff in our horseshoes?" And she meant stockings, but she said horseshoes. I said, "I think so." And so we looked and, "Mom, there's stuff in our horseshoes. Can we open the stuff that's in our horseshoes?" "Yeah, we can." So we sat and we opened all the items that were in our horseshoes. She never said horseshoes before, always said stockings, but today it was horseshoes. So, I mean, it doesn't get any cuter than that. That was really fun. We had fun opening our horseshoes. We had fun with games in the morning. We had a nice lunch with one another. And then after that, we decided, Claire and Simon and I decided we were going to go outside and play outside for a while. So we went outside and we got all bundled up. We got our snow pants on, the shoes on, the gloves on, the mittens on, the hoods, the coats. Grabbed our shovels, and we were going to dig a tunnel through one of our snowbanks. So we start digging our tunnel. And then I look out and I see in our driveway this creature walking along the road. And it had this long tail like that. And I thought it was a rat. I said, "Claire, there's a rat." She said, "What? There's a rat. Let's go see the rat." So we ran around to see this animal. I realized later it was a muskrat. It wasn't just a rat. It was a muskrat. And so she was behind it, and I was in front of it, and we were staring at this muskrat, and I'd never seen one before, and it was so exciting. Well, the muskrat wasn't quite as thrilled as we were, and so it decided to crawl over the snowbank, and then it just started trudging through the pasture. And they're like, "Claire, we got to go follow the muskrat." Well, right as we were getting ready to go, Simon yells, "I got to go to the bathroom, Daddy." So, "Claire, go get the muskrat," and I'm going in to help Simon with the bathroom, and we take off all this stuff. He goes to the bathroom, put it all back on. We run back outside. Claire's like, "Where were you?" I was like, "Well, we had to go to the bathroom." "Where's the muskrat?" "Well, I lost it, but we've got the trail." So we started following the trail. I had Simon on my back. We were trudging through the pasture, and we were following the path of this muskrat until we get to the stream. And we were asking, so where did the muskrat go? Is it like in the stream? Did it cross over the stream? We can't see its tracks anymore. "I guess we lost it," I said. And then the muskrat started swimming up the stream, like right in front of us. So we followed the muskrat up the stream, and then we followed it back down again. It was going under its burrows, and we followed up another stream. And then finally the muskrat lost us. It really didn't want us to be following it anymore. It lost us. And so we decided then we were going to go sledding. And I went up with Simon to the house to get the sled. But right as we get to the fence of the pasture, I hear this, "Ah!" and a screech. I usually do a better hawk impression than that. But we hear, and we look up, and there's this big hawk coming in. "Ah!" And there's a big blackbird in one of these trees in the groves that it's going towards. And it spooks the blackbird out of the tree, and the hawk lands in the nest, and the big blackbird flies out, and it has a white tip to its tail, and it has a white head. It's a bald eagle. So it's like the wild kingdom at my house on Christmas Day. We got the muskrat, we got the big hawk, and the bald eagle right there in my house. So it's just a thrill. We go in, we get the sled, we go back down to the pasture, and we're sledding for half an hour, just having a great time. We're laughing. It's just the best. And I'm thinking to myself, this is the best, exactly what I wanted for Christmas. It doesn't get any better than this. And then we went inside. And we're inside, and the peace or the tranquility of the day is broken because Simon's playing with his cars, and Ruthie grabs one of his cars. And then suddenly it's Ollie and Fraser in our house. And I'll spare you the details, but there's violence, and I'm moving in to try to break it up. And then I fall for it. I fall for that trap that I fall for every other day of the year, and I lose it. And I'm feeling this emotion in me, and I'm also feeling the sadness in me that couldn't we just have one day? Couldn't we just have one day where I don't lose it like that? But couldn't we just have one day where the brokenness stays around or away from Christmas? Can't we have a boundary on this day? But it doesn't work like that. I'm going to play a song that that's been meaningful to me this Christmas season, and the lyrics are in your bulletin. But I think it names some of what Christmas, some other Christmas feelings for us. So here it is.
Christmas Day, did I let you down? Like every other day, did I make you cry? On Christmas Day, did I let you down? On Christmas Day.
I've been listening to this box set by Sufjan Stevens, a Christmas box set, this Christmas time, and it has traditional carols on it and new stuff on it. But whenever I heard this song, I would stop whatever I was doing, and I need to listen through it again. And maybe it's because Christmas is just kind of a tense time of year, and one thing that we have to sort out is how we negotiate exactly which family we're going to see when and how long, and if anything is going to bring up a fight, it might be that. Other people struggle with these sorts of things too. I think it's also because this year I've been talking with quite a few people who have dealt with a lot of loss at Christmas time, or other losses during the year are coming back to them, and they're finding that grief doesn't take time off for Christmas. One person said to me, "And this is the happiest time of the year?" The song's melancholy tone also fits our gospel story for today. The peaceful manger season is long gone. The shepherds have gone back to the field. The magi have gone back to the far east. All that's left is this paranoid king, and now Mary and Joseph and the baby are running for their lives. Before Jesus can save anyone from sin, he has to be saved from the sin of Herod. But an angel appears to Joseph again and tells Mary and Joseph to flee to Egypt, for Herod's about to search for the child to destroy him. Joseph takes the family by night, and they smuggle themselves into Egypt. And then Herod does the unthinkable. He orders the killing of all the boys under age 2 in and around Bethlehem. The army surrounds the town, and there's the slaughter of the innocents. Joseph and Mary and Jesus wait in Egypt until Herod dies. But after his death, an angel appears to them and tells them it's safe to go back home. But on their way, an angel appears to them again, saying, Herod's son is still on the throne. It's not safe to go to Bethlehem. You have to hide out in Galilee. That's where you'll need to make your home. One thing the story is trying to do is to tell us that Jesus is the new Moses and show us these similarities clearly. Moses is rescued as a little boy from Pharaoh, who was killing the boys of the Hebrew slaves. And Jesus likewise is rescued as there's another king who's killing these boys. And the Holy Family goes down in Egypt, and then they come out of Egypt. The writer saying clearly to us, Jesus is a new Moses, bringing liberation for Israel and bringing God's new way. But beside that, in this world that's out of control, we see God at work calmly and quietly moving Joseph and Mary and Jesus from one place to another to keep them safe. The story's short. It takes only 10 verses, but the time span is long. It takes years until it's safe for Joseph and Mary and Jesus to move back home. 1, maybe 2 or 3 Christmases go by before anything changes in Joseph and Mary's world in Egypt. Now you can imagine that Joseph and Mary are shedding tears of frustration, wanting to go back home, wondering when it'll be safe. You can imagine them wondering where in the world God went and why God had forgotten them after the big to-do and with the star and the Magi back in Bethlehem. But then after a long time, God appears again and leads them quietly to safety. At Christmas, we proclaim that the birth of Jesus is a sign to us that God is with us. Jesus is our salvation. Through Jesus, God is leading us toward wholeness for our lives, toward wholeness for the world. But this wholeness doesn't happen immediately. Waking up on Christmas morning and realizing that the world isn't perfect like we want it to doesn't mean that God has disappeared. It doesn't mean that God isn't engaged in the world or in our lives. What we have at Christmas is a reminder that God, who can make a way out of no way, is here. And then God asks for our endurance and patience. I wish it wasn't this way myself. The pace of the world has gotten so much faster. I wish God would get faster too somehow. Maybe God needs an iPhone or something to sync it all together to make things happen more quickly, but it's not that way. Christmas comes not to promise instant perfection for our worlds, but to assure us that God is there and to allow that message to give us some hope when we've given up, perhaps. When we've given up hope that our families and sorting them out and negotiating all these things can be anything but a big mess, we hear this promise from God that we're encouraged to take a deep breath and walk back into that mess with the assurance that sacred power surrounds us, and divine power is looking for one little crack through which to bring some healing. Maybe it won't happen for a while, but change is possible. When we've given up hope that our hearts can feel anything but sadness and heaviness, we hear the promise that God is with us, and we're encouraged to hold on. God has not abandoned us, but is simply waiting with us in the Egypts of our grief. It will take a while, but God will lead us out of our Egypt and help us piece our lives together again. When it seems like Herod has taken control of the world and nothing can possibly stop the evil that's going on, we hear promises that God is here, and we're invited to again join our hearts to that of the Christ child. We'll be shown a way of powerful love, a way of the cross where sacrifice is necessary for new life to be born. And as we commit again to living deeply into this way of compassion, we will learn that change is difficult and victories come in small Christ-like packages. But on this journey with the Christ child, we will become more and more certain that not only is the power of God with us, but we are also a part of what is so powerful. May it be so. Amen.